evening, folks. Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
My name's Jim Beckworth. Never heard of Jim Beckworth, or what I did. Well, that doesn't surprise me none. But soon that'll all be taken care of. Well, some men who hard to raise a finger for America got their names on the lips of everyone. Ain't right. That's why I'm here. I'm a mountain man. We ain't no different than you. Maybe a little meaner. 30. Independent. So that's what it takes to survive. Now, most of us only got ourselves to make sure we make it from one day to the next. This here is my hawking rifle. Now, don't worry, it ain't loaded. Pretty thing. Weighs about 12 pounds. No sight, set trigger with a percussion lock. All the mountain men swore by the hawking. Can stop charging buffalo in their tracks. Then we made it 30 years. Bought it off in the trap was on a rendezvous. Oh, figure you don't know what that is. Well, it's kind of like a holiday. Or a get-together where mountain men meet, sell their skins to the fur companies, buy their provisions for the coming season. Sit around and swap tails, wondering whether they'll all be together next summer. You like my clothes? You still with me? Been wearing skins like these since the first went west. Oh, well, maybe not so fine. But skins are skins so long as they keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer, and that's all that's important. Well, you're looking more surprised than a mean old grizzly staring at a scrawny polecat trying to steal his grub. But I've never seen a mountain woman. You never heard of a black mountain man, even though I did as much, if not more, than Daniel Boone or Lewis or Clark over in this country. Well, it looks to me you have your doubts. I reckon if I was white, my name might be legend by now. If Daniel Boone were born black, you think you might have heard of him? I doubt it. I'll tell you something. You're looking at an Indian chief. That's right. I'm Jim Beckworth, a chief of the Crows. Still down. Well, I got me a story if you'd like to hear. Well, since I see y'all still hanging on to your seats, I figure we'll spend time together. Come on in and make yourself comfortable. I've been spending my time with T.D. Bonner. He's a book writer sitting amongst you. Kind of shy, so I won't call him out. Mr. Bonner's writing my life story. Now, a lot of folks have been saying I tell nothing but lies. That's human nature for you. But I always say unless you were there and saw otherwise, then you don't know. And what I told Mr. Bonner, what you about to hear is true, so help me God. I was born on April 26, 1798, and raised in a little Missouri frontier town called St. Charles, 120 miles or so north of St. Louis. My pa, James Beckworth. Ma's name was Miss Kidd. He was white and owned her when they was in Virginia. Well, in the late 1790s, Pa gave up his plantation and settled in Missouri so they could live together in peace. But even in Missouri, they could never marry. But it didn't matter much. They were more married than those who were. And so that's the way they made their way. But for as long as I can remember, I wanted done. I had a wild streak that got me in heaps of trouble. Because I couldn't live like a nigger in the white man's world. Made up my mind I was going to be somebody someday. No matter how long it took. It all started in the summer of 1815 when I was working as a blacksmith apprentice for Mr. Kastner in St. Louis. Oh, St. Louis. That was a city. Parked on the Mississippi like it was a door to the west. Most of the town's folks were God-fearing. These were the ones that brought the only idea of Eastern culture to the town. Now the ladies, they wore long dresses, some made of satin, bonnets, and usually carried something they called a parasol.
So to keep the sun out of our eyes.
Well, it tickles me to think of a squaw carrying one of them. The St. Louis gents wore stovepipe hats, satin vests and high collars, and covered the air with their fancy odors. But then, there was a mountain man. Ha! Either coming from or going west, but they was something. With their beards down to the chest and over their shoulders, carrying their long rifles and their haul of beaver pelts, and they smelled of firewood and animal and sweat. They were my heroes. Oh, except for Moses Black Harris, who was one of the meanest, most ornery creatures on earth, that he could handle a tomahawk better than any engine. Think of that, me. Then you go ask a Blackfoot, Sioux, or even a Cheyenne. He always smelled fierce. I don't think he bathed more than once a year. But I'll get to him later. But one day, I was shoeing a horse for a mountain man named Kim. Yeah, he was in his 40s, been going west for over 10 years. He was some 6 foot tall and built like he was a blacksmith himself. I knew that when the time came, he'd be a match for any animal or human. He used to run his fingers through his bushy blonde hair, tall. Boy, there's nothing like sleeping on a riverbank with the stars flickering like fireflies from one horizon to the other. You're always looking forward to the new day, never knowing whether you're going to hit pay dirt or lose your life trying, but all the time being certain it was going to be exciting. Well, when I got a mountain man's horse to shod, it took me longer, but I couldn't hear enough of their stories, asking about dealing with Indians. Well, ain't a hard rule on dealing with them. Don't expect too much. You mean lazy? Oh, not lazy, son. Proud. They fight for their own survival any way they know, whether it's stealing or scalping or using their friendship to an advantage. Well, I wouldn't deal with them. Then it's a good thing you ain't a trapper, or you wouldn't last. Well, Mr. Kennedy, I'd be willing to do just about anything to join you. I want to get to see the places you've seen and do the things you've done. Ain't no place for a boy, especially a city fella. Man, the Ford was giving off a heat beneath the summer daylight and inferno. Well, I raised up my hammer and bent a piece of hot steel on the first floor. Well, you mighty handy with that hammer, boy. Now, if you're hanging for a new life, just report to Colonel Johnson on the walk before the end of the week. We looking to bargain with the sagging foxes for the use of their lead mines up north. Now, you bring a good shooting iron, a bedroll, and your 3-man papers. Tell him I sent you. Well, just then, old man Kastner come in. The Kastner was in his 50s. It looked like he'd never missed a meal in his life. Still not groove up. Got good mind. Get me another helper. We ain't so lazy. Now the boy didn't do nothing. From my fault. Oh, he's useless. niggas all alive. I'll take my whip to him. Now, I ain't your slave, you lard-ass, piss-ass. Well, Casper threw a hammer at me and missed. And I hit him with that same hammer on his knee. Well, he let out a holler like a crippled bear and hit the floor. Yo, throw you miserable black bastard! Your father can have you! Well, I just threw off my apron and told Gilly I'd be seeing you and took off. Casper went through with me. Constable come to my lodgings saying I stole items from the blacksmith shop, which weren't true. It was Casper trying to even the score. Well, yeah, the constable saw it my way. At least he had sense enough not to try to stop me. I mean, he had only one arm, and I had a loaded 44. Weren't no contest. I took off for the wall. Well, that night, Casper and the constable come looking for me. Took me off in a keelboat I was hiding on, brought me back to St. Charles in the morning. Furious. Took me to the woodshed, closed the door, give me a thrashing. Well, not really. Oh, I cried and hollered while he kept striking leather on some hides. I guess it satisfied Casper and the constable because they finally left. Who am I for? What kind of question is that? You my son. And why don't I have family? Me like everyone else. Why can't me and my company when you go visit your kin? Why tell me you both come from Virginia? She said, you quit your homestead to be with her. Well, that doesn't matter. It matters to me, Mom. Say I'm your son. Love to say I belong to you. I'm confused. Been that way since I can remember. It pains me. Just don't pay no mind to them, Jim. They never shut up. So I figure if they won't accept me as an equal, I'm gonna make my own way any way I see fit. Now, I hate to hear you talk this way. Your ma and me figured to see as a fine blacksmith. Smithy would be accepted regardless of the color of his skin, but I want more than that, Pa. I want to be looked up to by everyone. Someday, I'm going to walk the streets of St. Louis. People move aside. I'm going to hear them saying, there goes Jim Beckworth. Ain't he something? You're dreaming, son. I can't blame you. But we all can't have what we want. Why? Because we all have responsibilities. To a wife, a family, a home. I still may be able to swear things with Mr. Kaplan. No, Pa! He hates my kind. I'll never go back to him on anyone. Oh, my insides cry and my finger goes fast. He tells the trapper's tale. Well, do they tell you what it is to go hungry for days? Freezing in the winter. Not even a fire to keep you warm. Having no one to care for you when you're sick. Give you a burial when you die. But there was nothing he could say that changed my life. Son, wear this silver dollar piece around your neck. As long as you have it. Never be wrong. We headed for the Sac and Fort Indian lead mine in northwest Illinois. Kennedy took me under his wing. One night on the river, an engine was seen on the banks by one of the mountain men. I hit the deck, and then my rifle shook all the while. I looked up at Kennedy. Engines? Not necessarily. Hostiles aren't known to give them warnings. Then, how do you know when they're there? Well, you use your engine sense. What's that? It's what you acquire if they let you live long enough. Well, a few days later, I saw more engines than I was. Baptiste was one of them. He was a scrawny 16-year-old who signed on as an apprentice mule skinner. And Moses Black Harris didn't take long in making him his personal slave. But one night at the campfire, Kennedy and I admired a blade hanging from Baptiste's belt. You ever seen a blade like that, right, Kennedy? No, never. What you want for it, son? Okay. How about this shiny gold piece? Merci, monsieur Kennedy, mais c'est impossible. Mon père me l'a donné. Où est ton père? Il est mort. Ma mère aussi. Well, what's he say? Pa gave it to him. Boy's an orphan. Well, just then Harris stood over Baptiste. Boy, get me another help and rub some more bread. Be quick about it. Take me. Now, the boy's eating. Why don't you get yourself, old man? You're no cripple. I wasn't talking to you. Move, boy. Monsieur. Give it here, Baptiste. Harris come at me with a knife like a madman. He cut my arm. I kept dodging Harris's thrust without a knife of my own. It was all I could do. Slash, slash. He kept coming at me all the time, swinging. I'm gonna cut your heart out. Finish him off, Moses! Stick him! Teach him a lesson. I kept retreating. It wasn't a fair fight, but I learned that there weren't any rules with Mountain Man. So, Baptiste gone. It's your team. And Ruby is not. Harris saw it. He stopped in his tracks. I crooked my bleeding arm and slowly flicked the knife from side to side. I forced him back into a campfire. He felt the heat, made a rush. I sidestepped and hit him at the top of his head with a heavy hand. Get him! Make him bleed! Slice him! Hush, you bastard! You gonna leave the young man alone? No! Again! No! That goes for all of you. You leave him alone, you. Hell, Caleb. I did too. Maybe. But you never escaped Pro. Jim's the only one man among you that Pro let live. Caleb Greenwood, you a crazy old man. Oh, maybe. We're not crazy. I live with the Crows. Now, they like to hear stories about men who can fight and are brave. I mean, what about you?
You don't want to lay on. You have to understand that Indians are just like children. They believe most everything they hear. Huh? I told them that you was kidnapped by the Blackfeet when you was a baby. And then they sold you as a ginger to the whites. Well, when they hear that, they got to hoop their heart. They must have lasted a week. Well, I told them that you was coming back and that you killed many of the Crow's worst enemies. The Blackfeet. And they bought it. They waiting for you, Jim.
Well, I can't speak Crow.
I'll learn you.
Now, how would they know me?
Well, I told them that they know it was you by the silver dollar you wear around your neck. They on the lookout.
Well, they can keep on looking. 'Cause my future's in St. Louis. From the top of Rise, Jedediah figured he saw the last of me. I was being escorted by a Crow war party as a prisoner back to their village. Before long, all the mountain men knew Beckworth had gone under. Now, if we just say I got took on purpose, well, you're right. It was time I made my move. Sooner or later, somehow I knew it didn't all work out, one way or the other. And what do you think I made sure they saw? You're right again. My silver dollar. Well, the Crow called themselves Absolutely. Bird people. They got to pointing and hollering about and pointing at this job just like Caleb said they would. Big bold, battle-scarred, tall, solidly built Indian out in his 50s, told the members of his tribe they know for sure about me. If some old Crow women who lost children years ago would prove I was their son. Well, they pawed and stared at me. And one old woman who was one of Big Bold's wives said that her son had a mole over his left eye. Well, there it was. As far as they was concerned, I come home. Well, Big Bold told the tribe, the words of Caleb are true. Our enemies will tremble at the hands of my son. Morning star. I was bathed by 4 of my sisters and dressed in fine Crow garments. I figured I should have got called sooner. Me and Big Bold had ourselves a talk. My father, the white man, has big canoes that travel up and down rivers without wind or paddles. And how do they move? Steam and engines. Engines? It's like when you boil water. The steam is harnessed and makes the boat to move. What else did you learn? The white man has guns that speak with thunder, so strong that 100 brains would fall at a time. where do they keep them? My father has nothing to fear. He never uses it. Only when he's at war. He is at peace with the crow. Caleb speaks of teepees that laugh at the great wings of iron horses of much gold. Speaks the truth. My son, you are in need of a wife. A brave must have a wife from another brave's lodge. I got me a pick of 4 women. And the one I chose was named Stillwater. She was the eldest of the 4 and the prettiest. They told me she was a good provider and watched me till I was going out of sight. I have an empty feeling in my stomach.